Hey there, it's Joe with Wellness Weigh-In. I'm going to talk to you today about the Carnivore Priming Protocol. We're going to go over the who, the what, the where, the when, the how, and the why of this trending carnivore process. I came across this by listening to Coach Raymond Dazan. He's really one of my favorite people to listen to in the community. He has a wealth of knowledge about carnivore and fasting, and we here at Wellness Weigh-In, we love the carnivore diet. We love intermittent fasting. So again, he's just one of our favorite people to listen to. But before we get into that, I do want to tell you, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting a video about my experience with the protocol, and so you won't want to miss that. All right, let's go into it. All right, before we get into the what of the Carnivore Priming Protocol, it's important to understand the reasons why we should consider the protocol. The protocol is based on a couple of ideas. Basically, that our bodies are undernourished from chronic undereating, typically through severe caloric restrictions. And also that we are just metabolically not fit to jump 2 feet into carnivore fasting lifestyles with any type of optimization or efficiency. You see, people that come to this lifestyle often come from a rich history of dieting and caloric restrictions. And because of that, we can experience long-standing hormonal imbalances. Also, we have uncontrolled cravings that we haven't dealt with. And so they're just sitting there ready to rear their ugly head at any moment. And then we oftentimes bring in a white knuckle approach. We know that there's going to be a grind. We know it's going to be difficult. And we just have this, bear down and let's get at it type approach. And the priming protocol is really designed to remedy some of those issues so that you can have an easier path to success with a fasting carnivore lifestyle. So what exactly is the Carnivore Priming Protocol? Well, it's a 3-week process where you increase your daily intake to about 2 to 3 times what you would normally eat in a day. And you do this over 3 weeks. The first week, you'll be eating 3 meals plus snacks. The second week, you'll be eating 3 meals plus no snacks. And then the third and final week, you'll be eating just 2 meals with 0 snacks. And you'll be eating these meals with certain priming principles in mind. The first principle is that you're going to eat each meal until you're holiday stuffed. That's what we call that. Where you remember after Thanksgiving meal, perhaps where you want to stretch out your torso a little bit and loosen up your belt. That's the level of fullness that we want you to get to with each of your meals. Not overstuffed where you're in pain, but just stuffed enough where you feel like it's Thanksgiving. The second principle is that if you're a coffee or a tea drinker, that coffee and tea will be drank for dessert. Okay? You're not going to consume it during the fast. You're not going to use it to break the fast. It's going to be drink as a dessert. And the reason why is because coffee and tea can be appetite suppressors. And during the priming protocol, Coach Nazan really wants you to harness your hunger so that your body gets fully satiated and you use that hunger to really fill your body with a lot of carnivore intake and like I said, just get satiated from that. The third principle is that there's no need to count calories. We're going off of the way your body feels and what it tells you about satiety and hunger. And then lastly, if you're a carnivore faster already and you're experienced in those things, your priming protocol may be a lot shorter than 3 weeks. You might find that with 1 to 2 weeks, your body's telling you, okay, enough's enough, I'm ready. So during that first week where you're eating 3 meals plus snacks, your hunger is going to really start to open up. You're going to probably feel like a bottomless pit as you stuff your face with a carnivore diet till you're holiday stuffed. You're going to eat more than you have in a while. You're going to maybe want breakfast or a late night snack when you haven't in the recent past. And you're going to find that again, you just feel like you're eating a ton of food because you're eating 2 to 3 times what you would normally eat in that first week. The second and third week where you're eating 3 meals with no snacks, and then the third week you're eating just 2 meals, your body is going to start to become satiated. And as hormones are reset and rebalanced, and as nutritional deficiencies are remedied, that hunger is going to start to naturally close down. That's your body telling you that, hey, it's getting replenished. And it's preparing you for periods of longer and longer fasts, which is a good thing. You can test out your priming efforts actually towards the end of the third week by going to a 23-1 protocol. That's where you fast for 23 hours and then you eat all of your intake during that last hour. If you can do this with relative ease, then I would say you're adequately primed. However, if by hour 18, 19, and 20, you're struggling, you have that white knuckle approach, you're getting uncontrollable cravings, and you're just feeling a ton of hunger pangs, then perhaps you need to consider priming for just a little bit longer. After the priming protocol, though, I will tell you that it's designed to really cut the cravings, and all those cravings that you once had should dissipate after the priming protocol. Hunger pangs will weaken and diminish, allowing you again to fast for longer and longer periods. After priming, you're going to be able to do 24-hour fasts, 48-hour, even 72-hour fasts. Those extended fasts have a lot of great benefits. So if you can do those with relative ease, you'll be able to reap those benefits and do that as often as you wish. Your experience and relationship with food will transform from dependence and pleasure to just for nourishment and necessity. You're going to look at food different. You're not going to look at it as something that you rely on for comfort, but you're going to look at it as just something that you need to take in order to just live. And it's a healthy relationship with food. And this is ultimately what will set you up for success with the fasting carnivore lifestyle. All right, so now to answer the question of who should consider a priming protocol, it is definitely not for everyone. But there are no doubt groups of people who would benefit from this process. First and foremost, if you're brand new to the carnivore community or the intermittent fasting community, you would benefit from going through this priming process. Or maybe you're returning to a carnivore fasting lifestyle. I've had friends who have gone through medical procedures and their post-procedure diet was prescribed. And when they came off of that diet, they were ready to return. I would recommend for them to go through this priming protocol. Or maybe you went on vacation and a long vacation and you ate whatever you wanted to eat and now you're ready to return. That's a good scenario where I would say you would want to prime as well. This is also for current carnivore fasters, particularly if you're having difficulty still. If you're still finding that this is a white knuckle grind every day for you, perhaps you have uncontrolled cravings, or maybe just cravings that you're not even sure what they're cravings for. Maybe you find yourself opening the pantry or the refrigerator and just staring into oblivion, wondering what it is you're craving. Maybe your thoughts are just consumed by what you're going to eat for the next meal. Those are all instances where I would definitely recommend going through a priming protocol. Also, if you're experiencing inflammatory issues or residual inflammation symptoms, the priming protocol would be a benefit for you because it would eliminate a lot of the dietary causes of inflammation. And also, if lastly, you just want to make sure that you're optimizing your carnivore fasting efforts. You can prime as well. You will get to full satiety. Your body will become satiated much quicker than 3 weeks. So just be aware of that. It's important to take note that, again, your priming protocol will be a lot shorter than someone who's brand new to carnivore and fasting. Okay, so what are some of the adverse effects from the priming protocol? It wouldn't be an honest overview if we didn't talk about some of the possible negative outcomes from this protocol. So with that said, number one is that it is possible to gain weight during the protocol. I recommend putting away the scale during the process and even for a couple weeks after. And remember, you're consuming 2 to 3 times more food than you would typically eat. So gaining weight is a possibility. It is important to note that the carnivore diet is ketogenic by nature. It's 0 carbs. So at some point during the protocol, your body is going to more than likely go into ketosis, which is a mode where you're burning fat for energy instead of glucose. And so even though the scale might go up or even stay neutral, you may find that your clothes are fitting a little bit more loose than they once did. So that's oftentimes welcomed, even if the scale does go up. You're putting on lean muscle mass a lot of times. The second adverse reaction that could occur are loose bowel movements. I know that I experienced this when I switched over to the carnivore diet. So it's definitely a possibility during the priming period. Usually that goes away after just a few days. It's important to note your hydration status if you do have loose bowel movements. So the important thing is assess your urine color. It should be a pale yellow straw color. If it's any darker than that, increase your fluid intake. Also, take a look at your skin. If it's dry, or if you have what they call tenting, where you pinch your skin and let go and it stays in that pinched look, then that's a good sign you will definitely need to increase your fluids. Take a look at your lips, make sure they're not chapped, and then also the oral cavity, make sure it's nice and moist. You want to make sure that you're always assessing your hydration status with any type of loose bowel movements, even if it's not caused from priming. But if you find that you're dehydrated and you have those symptoms, feel free to stop the priming protocol, give it some time, rehydrate, and then start it up in the future again. Another thing to watch out for is some may experience electrolyte imbalances, and some symptoms of electrolyte imbalance include muscle cramps and palpitations. Those are the two big ones. I know my wife, when she goes into ketosis, she'll experience palpitations, and sometimes they can be debilitating. She just has to, lay down on the couch and just take some slow, deep breaths. But we found that taking electrolytes, supplements, a powder that she uses, that helps her. And actually that prevents the palpitations. So we use something called Key Nutrients. I put a link in the description. We love the pink lemonade and raspberry flavor. But she just takes 1 scoop, mixes it with 16 ounces of water in the morning, shakes it up, and drinks that throughout the day. And that's enough to replace her electrolytes and replenish them so that she doesn't experience those different symptoms like palpitations and or muscle cramps. You don't have to use Key Nutrients. You can use your favorite electrolyte replacement. So again, 3 things to watch out for: possible weight gain, loose bowel movements, and electrolyte imbalances. Hey, listen, I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, tap the like button. Also subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming out with a video showcasing my experience with the Carnivore Priming Protocol. You won't want to miss that. Finally, I'm Joe on Wellness, priming you to weigh in.